I'm here very briefly because I know you have a lot of other things you need to do to talk about a bill that I introduced with Senator Bill Nelson. I'm here to talk about a bill that Senator Bill Nelson and I worked on very hard called the Line Act of 2014, S 2017. The right to vote, and we all share this, regardless of what state we come from. It's really the essence of our democracy. It's really a gift that we inherited from our founders. But when you make people wait in line for hours and hours and hours, and you force them to choose between voting or perhaps caring for a sick child or going through severe pain as they wait online, or perhaps even risking their jobs if they wait online, and so many other reasons why people suffered through this last election. I think their right to participate in our democracy is fundamentally denied because many of them did give up. We know that. So they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, and I have brief words for you, and I have 2 photos for you. Here's what we witnessed in states across the nation on Election Day 2012. If you take a look at this picture, and I can give you smaller versions of it, this is Florida, Miami, people waiting for hours and hours to vote. And here's a couple of quotes from them. Mr. Blake Yagmoon said, quote, "I was there for about 3.5 hours. Each of the lines were 4 to 5 hours. It took my mom 8.5 hours to vote," unquote. This gentleman is severely hypoglycemic. He actually, excuse me for using this word because it's not a nice word, he spent several hours actually vomiting after standing in the sun for so long. Ultimately, he had to give up. So this is a gentleman who we know about. And I'm sure, Senator Roberts, he would be happy to come up here and explain how painful it was for him. And who could forget 102-year-old Florida voter, Desaline Victor, who waited in line for 3 hours to cast her ballot? 102! She almost turned 103 waiting online. She persevered. What a patriot, till she got to the ballot box. But many like her, and younger than her, gave up. Now, the second one is going to be close to Senator Warner's heart. College Park Elementary School in Virginia Beach, Virginia. The line goes all the way from that basketball, all the way into the building around here. It's just unbelievable. They were heartbreaking stories. At this precinct, Virginia voter Mary Atkinson said, and I quote, "Some of us have been out here 4 hours. I've been here 3.5 hours. I had knee surgery and my knee is killing me," unquote. Another Virginia voter, Robin Marl, M-A-R-O-H-L, said, quote, "I can't tell you how many people I've counted leaving and saying, the heck with it. I'm not going to vote because I can't get in there," unquote. Unbelievably, many voters in Florida, Virginia, and other states were still standing in line, as Senator Warner described, hours after the polls closed and into early Wednesday morning. Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member and Senator Warner, we should not apply survival of the fittest to the right to vote. You shouldn't have to be a marathon runner. That's not what our founders envisioned. So when we force people to stand in line for hours, our right to vote becomes ephemeral. It's not really a right if you can't make it. And that's why Senator Nelson and I wrote this law. Let me quickly explain what it is. And I hope when you consider legislation, you can take this idea. I mean, I'm not wedded to every word, but what we said was, we had this test case in the last national, federal election, and we had all these problems in certain places. In other places, it was smooth as silk. So what we say is, if you had a situation where voters waited online longer than an hour, then we ask and this is an idea that the bipartisan Presidential Commission came out with, really, that you shouldn't have to wait more than 30 minutes, is what they said. We said the Attorney General and the Election Assistance Commission should identify those jurisdictions where voters waited a long time. We say 30 minutes, it could be an hour, and then they should talk to the state, talk to the county, and come up with a common sense plan to minimize waiting times at those jurisdictions, because they failed the test. Now, if there's a problem with Senator Roberts, and I mean, I know Senator Roberts, and I know he has a problem with this idea of a federal law, but if you crafted it in such a way that it's not one size fits all, that the local people and the state people come up with their own ideas, this could be a really good way to bring experts together to fix the problems where they occurred. So it's not rocket science. Either we have a right to vote or we don't have a right to vote. I am so proud of this committee on all sides for holding these hearings, because Senator Junior said it breaks his heart. I'll tell you something. I just got sick looking at this, on the one hand, proud of our people that they would put up with this. On the other hand, knowing full well that some of them, because of their age, because of their circumstance, because of illness, just couldn't do it, couldn't make it, and lost that right to vote. So I stand by ready to help you on both sides of the aisle in any way we can use our common sense to make this thing get better, because this is not what America should look like on election night. Thank you so much.